You've probably heard some version of this before. If he loves you, he won't trust you. It's a pretty intense idea, right? And honestly, it's kind of confusing. But it's out there, and it gets repeated a lot. So today, we're gonna pull that statement apart and get right into the psychology behind it. So this is the belief at the heart of it all. It's this idea that gets tossed around that makes jealousy and possessiveness seem, well, romantic. Like they're the ultimate proof of how much someone cares. But when you actually look at it from a psychological standpoint, this whole idea is not just unhealthy, it's completely backward. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we all know deep down that love and trust are supposed to go hand in hand, then why does this myth even exist in the first place? To figure that out, we've got to look beyond the surface behavior and find out what's really driving it. All right, first things first, let's just bust that whole premise wide open. Because in a genuinely healthy relationship, love and trust aren't enemies. They aren't fighting each other. They actually grow together. One feeds the other. The whole misunderstanding comes from confusing some other very powerful emotions for love. And this is such a key way to reframe the whole thing. See, when a partner says they don't trust you, it's almost never about something you're actually doing. That distrust, it's a symptom. It's an external sign of a battle that they are fighting inside themselves. So, if it isn't love, what's really going on under the hood? This brings us to the real engine behind this kind of behavior. We need to stop looking at it as a form of affection and start seeing it for the much more primal emotion it actually is. And there it is, simple as that. It's powerful and it's at the root of everything. That constant suspicion, the need to control, that possessiveness, it's all growing out of a place of fear. It is not a sign of how much they love you. It's a sign of how absolutely terrified they are. And look, we're not talking about some vague, abstract fear here. It breaks down into these really specific, painful anxieties. The fear of losing you, the fear of being betrayed, and that deep-seated fear of just not being good enough. But the biggest one of all, the one that kind of hangs over everything else, it's the fear of abandonment. When someone is drowning in those fears, they frantically grab onto the one thing they're terrified of losing, which is you. Psychology actually gives us a great framework for this. It's called attachment theory. And someone with what's called an anxious attachment style, which often develops in childhood if care was inconsistent, they basically live with this constant, low-level hum of anxiety about their relationships. They definitely feel love, for sure, but it gets all tangled up with this desperate, unending need for reassurance. So what does that anxious attachment actually look like in day-to-day life? Well, it looks like overthinking every single text message. It looks like needing to hear "I love you" over and over again. It's about immediately assuming the absolute worst when a call goes to voicemail. For someone with this style, the love they feel might be very real, but that feeling of being emotionally safe and secure, it's just not there. And all of this leads us right into the next huge misconception, which is this whole romantic idea about jealousy. This is where fear really puts on its most convincing disguise, pretending to be affection. And honestly, it's a trap that so many of us can fall for. I mean, we've all heard this, right? It's in movies, it's in songs. We've probably even heard it from our friends. This idea that a big, explosive, jealous reaction is a sign that someone is just super passionately invested in you. But again, we have to ask ourselves, what's the emotion really driving that behavior? Okay, here's the crucial difference. Love is about feeling secure and connected with your partner. Jealousy, that's all about your own insecurity. It's the fear of losing your partner to someone else. It's fundamentally about being afraid of being replaced, not about celebrating the person you're with. So what you end up with are two totally different mindsets. On one side, you have a secure partner. They say, "I trust you, I trust your judgment, I trust our connection." But on the other side, you have an insecure partner whose fear basically turns the entire world into a giant threat. Their focus isn't really on trusting you, it's on managing their own anxiety by trying to control everything around you. Now, fear is pretty sneaky. It often swaps out that jealousy mask for a different one, the mask of protection. And this is probably one of the most subtle and manipulative ways that distrust gets passed off as love. Just listen to these phrases for a second. At first glance, they sound like they're coming from a place of care, don't they? The person is positioning themselves as the wise protector, the one who knows better. But what's really going on? They're justifying their need to control your friends, your environment, your freedom, all under the banner of keeping you safe. And that's the bottom line, right there. Real protection respects your intelligence, it honors your autonomy, it is built on a foundation of trust. The second you take trust out of that equation, the whole dynamic flips. It stops being about your safety and it starts being about enforcing their rules. It becomes control. Okay, so we spent a lot of time tearing down the myth, so now let's build up the reality. What does a healthy relationship, one where love and trust actually grow together, what does that look like? How do you even build that foundation? Well, it's really built on these 4 pillars. Emotional safety means you can be your true, vulnerable self without fear of being judged or punished. Communication means you talk things through, openly and honestly. Transparency means no secrets, no hidden agendas, and consistency, that's the big one. It means your actions and your words line up, time and time again. See, trust isn't something you just decide to have. It's the natural result of reliable, trustworthy patterns. And this is why it all matters so much. This is the difference it makes in your life. Love that's paired with constant suspicion creates a life of anxiety. It's a life of walking on eggshells. But love that's built on a real foundation of trust, that is where you find genuine peace. That's real security. So let's circle all the way back to that original statement. When someone says, "I love you, and that's why I don't trust you," we can now decode what's really being said. It's not a statement about you, it's a confession about them. It's a window into their own unresolved issues, their past traumas, their low self-worth, and their deep, deep emotional insecurity. And ultimately, a truly confident person doesn't need to control their partner because their confidence comes from within. They're calm because they are secure in themselves and in the relationship they've chosen to build. Suspicion is never a sign of strength. It is the absolute clearest sign of insecurity. And that right there is the heart of it all. Real, mature love is an active choice. It's a choice you make every single day, and it's based on respect and admiration. It's about choosing to be with someone and trusting them. Control, on the other hand, is about possession. It's about holding on to someone out of fear. And those two things, they could not be more different.